Session. Alright, welcome everybody to session 28, baby. Last time on whatever this video is called, we were in camp the night before going theoretically to the Dragon Barrow. You guys had some conversations about what we're going to do, including going to Phandalin, possibly to sell some items and such. No, sorry, going to Neverwinter, because Phandalin is your basic hometown right now. You decide to sell some dwarven smithing kits in Phandalin, made 75 gold from that. You brought Bugdob along with you to the Dragon Barrow. Oh, and there was a narrow avoidance of some poisonous plants that were gathered by Neil for the morning meal that day. That may be a conversation we need to have about if you think you have a strong case for instance, for Rio and his nature abilities and such, like, should he have to roll to figure out whether or not something is good to put into food or not? Like, for the most part, I'm thinking as long as you don't roll a natural one, it was pretty much gonna pass. But
I think that at some point we would realize that Neil is super helpful in this area, but you smile, you nod, you take it, and then chuck it into the fire or something.
These herbs are better inhaled. You guys
Exactly.
approach the Dragon Barrow out of the forest of the Neverwinter woods, and a centaur came up to you guys named Xanth. Had his hands raised, trying to prove that he was friendly. Told you the tale of Lady Tanamir Alagondar, who was basically the leader of these two groups of adventurers that were set up to slay the dragon. They succeeded, but literally all of them died, with the lady dying last of all, kind of slowly, to the leftover poison of this green dragon, and she was able to get her dying wishes out. Had herself, the dragon, and all of her compatriots buried in the barrow with her. Xanth told you that they've seen some like glowing kind of floating, and you learned that they were will-o-wisps, kind of at night above the barrow. You decided to leave Bugdob with the Centaurs, where he has learned at least one dance, and the Centaurs love the kittens. And you headed to Neverwinter. You found a map and legend shop, got a little bit more info about the Lady Tanamir and such. Went to an armor smith and sold the Dreadhelm for 250 and the 5-pound steel coffer for 50 gold. You decided retroactively that you sold the shark fins, tails, and teeth in Phandalin because they were more rare there than they were on the coast here. The mermaid statue of jade, whatever material it was sold for 100 gold here. You found a dwarven cleric in what I have decreed to be the dwarven district of sorts in Neverwinter, and you showed him the amulet that was kind of on its own in the ring and chest combo. There's a lot of RP, some negotiations happened. He went into a secret kind of tunnel area that led to an underground kind of dwarven district. You guys didn't see where he went. He was very happy about the story of your ogre friend and the kitties and the centaurs, and that helped him make an offer on the amulet, ring, and chest that included, it was 500 gold for the amulet, 200 gold for the chest ring combo, and there was a deal made on top of that to craft Bugdob's plate armor for half the price you were seeing elsewhere. They would also supply carts and horses to carry the dragon carcass in pieces or possibly as a whole back to Neverwinter in exchange for them having the first chance to purchase basically the entirety of the dragon except for 5 scales that Sarissa wanted to keep. It is roughly 3 p.m. in Neverwinter, and what you doing?
Question. I thought we negotiated for the full price of his plate.
Yeah, it was decided that, well, yeah, I thought, yeah, we had it decided that we were good to go. That for the armor and stuff.
You guys took money out of your characters' inventories to pay the 1,500. I remember that very, very strongly.
Yeah.
So you did pay half the price for the plate.
Yeah,
It is being made.
Yes, we paid half the price for it, which was way cheaper.
Yes.
And then weren't we talking about trying to find a wizard or a library or something so we could see about
The spell book?
Sell the
deal-
spell book, and we
Yeah,
can
we
ask
sell-
about the will-o-wisps. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and I think we kind of figured out that Lady Anamir wasn't the unhappy spirit because her dying wish was met. You know what I mean? Like, her dying wish was that they all got buried together, and she.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? Because
There-
a will-o-wisp, it's an unsettled, unhappy spirit, and then so I took it as when they're like, and her dying wish was they were all buried together with Gray, and we took care of that. So
If that is something that you gleaned on your own, you're welcome to that, but that was never discussed specifically with anybody in game. But you did learn that these are spirits of, like, they had something that they wish they had done, like unrequited, unrealized goals or something like that.
so she it still could be her then.
Well,
Her
there's
dying wish wasn't necessarily.
there's several of these wisps, so one of them could be, but no, but nobody knows really. So far.
So we need to sell the spell book, and we need to go find a way to talk to about so we can get a plan to deal with these will-o-wisps, because I just feel like Sarissa would know something about unhappy spirits and stuff, because it's a spiritual thing, but like me as Shannon, I don't know fuck all about it. So I have no idea.
As a paladin or as a tiefling?
As a paladin, just because like you have to have a faith in God, and so because I have such strong faith, I'm okay with my God, I'm okay with myself, and I have a very strong sense of who I am. So I'm not going to die in with unfinished things, because I've made peace with it. When you have that higher power, and so it just seems like I would have an understanding, but I don't.
What information have you received about will-o-wisps so far?
I think we just knew that they were lights, they were unhappy, they were somebody who died with, unrealized potential or dreams, and that they can be dangerous, but other than that, no, I don't think have we gotten anything else?
That's it.
Okay.
Oh, and they're evil, we know that.
Oh, yes.
They're really, it's basically despair, like his despair over something. We don't know. But yeah, that's it.
Okay. Is there more you would like to learn about them? Or think that you might know already about them? Like, what are you looking for exactly?
Well, the thing is like the fact that they are agents of despair, that probably doesn't have much to do with what will or won't hurt them, or a way to combat them. Do you see what I'm saying? Like.
So you're asking about weaknesses, strengths? Is that what you're going for?
Yeah, like, because like I literally have no idea.
Are you proficient in religion or arcana?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Religion, no.
Okay.
Those are both intelligence. No.
Yeah, I get you. I would have allowed. So that's the thing about if you're playing with a good DM, those when it says intelligence next to a skill, it's not necessarily that's the only thing you can use for that. So like talk to your DM and say, hey, I'm playing a paladin. My main stat is charisma. Is there a way I can get like half proficiency with charisma or whatever? But like I would have allowed it.
It just seems seems like a paladin with no proficiency in religion. Like a true paladin just seems, I don't know, odd.
Yeah, I get you. And paladins are very
Like,
good at buffing, so like a backline
Yeah.
paladin. I've thought about creating one, but
So yeah, and it's like the religion, my ability to recall lore about deities, rites, prayers, religious hierarchies, stuff like that. And I'm just thinking as far as lore about deities, even though these guys aren't deities, they're still they're what's the word I'm looking for?
just spirits.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Yeah.
For the heck of it, give me a religion roll.
Okay. At least it's not negative. Yeah, it came out 6 or 9, so not that good.
With a 9, the best you're gonna learn is that they are surprisingly resistant to a lot of different damage types, and they can move through creatures and objects. It's like they're hard to deal damage to, and they can move through creatures and objects.
Yeah, so we need to figure out a group tactic, basically, that would be effective,
Sure.
especially if they're resistant to damage. It's just like,
Yes, you must.
um,
You must attack with your magic. You must all
What's-
use your magical abilities.
what's the difference between?
Don't you have a magical weapon?
You
Resistance and immunity. Immunity means that thing can literally not hurt them.
correct.
But resistance means they get like half damage.
Half damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just have to use your magic weapons. Don't you all have magic weapons?
I have a
I
long.
got this magic pan flute here,
Don't you have a magic
Yeah, you
sling?
gotta
but of course
Real
all
close.
my spells are magic.
Neil,
get,
don't
right.
don't you have a magic sling or no?
Yes, I do. I've got a magic sling too.
Okay.
Can we look around to see if maybe I can't trade in my javelins for magic javelins?
Rio's got a magic bow, and
Yeah.
and don't you have a magic like longsword?
I have a magic long sword. I would like to figure out a way to at least get magic spells on my javelins.
Hmm.
If even just a temporary spell, like maybe we could find a wizard or a sorcerer. Are sorcerers bad or just neutral? It's a magic user.
You mean to recruit somebody?
No, just as for more like, so Sarissa potentially has, I don't know, some kind of range thing
Yeah,
she can use on these things that are resistant to all kinds of damage.
So, as far as enchanting something to make it magical,
Yeah, how does
you,
that work?
from a D&D standpoint, that can take days, and it's not cheap.
You just need to use your sword.
Let's see.
That doesn't mean you can't find something that you could theoretically buy at a store. Could still be
Yeah.
expensive, though.
And because these guys are undead, does that mean, like, when they're around, then if I did use my detect, my detect spell, if they're, you know what I mean? If they're
Yeah.
not 10 feet underground,
Yeah.
but I'm going to assume, because they said these lights flicker on and off, right? Like they said they were like floating, flickering lights.
I don't remember the flickering part. If I said that, then we'll go with it. But they at least float at night.
Okay, because I thought it was floating, flickering, and when I hear the floating I get. When I hear flickering, that makes me think that maybe do they go invisible? Are they going back underground? And so that's why if when they flicker, if they do go invisible or go underground, it would be nice if I wanted to use my divine sense or whatever to be like, yeah, they're here, versus like, nope, dude's disappeared. Like, I don't know, did he go 10 feet underground or something?
So
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
what Xanth told you is strange witch lights hover over Dragon Barrow at night. The hill is haunted by the restless spirits of the dead. I don't think there's any flickering.
It seems like we heard the floating and flickering and sticking. I wrote it down even, so yeah, okay, well, if they don't flicker, they don't flicker then.
Yeah.
So no flickering means then I don't have to worry about them going invisible. No flicker.
I mean, I wouldn't say that, but
So they can go invisible, but
I also wouldn't say that. I'm just saying that your assumption that non-flickering means they can't go invisible would be a weird leap. But
well, if it's a light and then it goes out and I can't see it, that's invisible.
they could just be turning off their light.
Oh, I didn't know that was an option.
Yeah.
Okay. So, turn off light. Okay. Well, we need to figure out some way.
Well, we've got the magic. We've all got magic weapons. We just need to. We just need to fight them like any other foe and try to. I mean, if you really want, we can call Adon, and he could try to turn them.
Oh, yes, that worked out really well last time. Because if it hadn't been for that, it could have gotten extremely ugly for us very quickly.
Yeah, if they're undead, then Adon should be able to handle them.
Okay, yes, I agree. Okay, hold on. So, let's see, we can call them twice in a day. Do we want to call them up so we can have a conversation with them now or not?
No, I think we know what he can do.
Yeah, he is whatever you make him.
Yeah, exactly. So he's not going to surprise us.
Yeah. He has a little bit of personality, but it's not like he can... I think I told you last time that if you want to summon him to get some information, he would have to roll like a fucking nat 20 to glean anything.
Because he's not like a magical library.
Yeah.
Just to get information from. He more shows up in a fight.
He's not?
Exactly.
Let's see. So, and let me see. I'm trying to find where my divine sense and stuff is. There it is. So yeah, I detect good and evil. So when we were there before during the day, I didn't detect anything, so...
Yeah, well, it sounds like these things are evil, and we'd be better off if there weren't any evil spirits lurking about the grave, because we want to find that sword. So
yes,
we need to go take care of these evil spirits.
Yes, we can sell the spell book and see if we can't glean any information from the magic user if they've got, I don't know.
Yeah, and we have to wait to get Bugdob's armor.
Yeah.
So if we're done with the Dwarven Cleric, then let's go. Can we go to find a wizard's school or a mage tower or the local spooky guy?
Local spooky guy?
Unseen University.
Yeah, that little blue building down here is the House of Knowledge. It would
Yeah, okay.
probably be your next best stop as far as like selling the spell book or finding out where you can sell it.
Yeah, House of Knowledge was where we were going to ask about the will-o-wisps too. We just didn't get there.
Yeah, true.
But
Yeah.
Let's go to the House of Knowledge.
Nobody got my Unseen University reference. Wah,
No.
wah.
Mm-mm.
Sorry.
It's Terry Pratchett from the Discworld series.
Haven't read it.
Witches Abroad.
It's on my list though.
The series will absolutely kill you. It's hilarious.
I've heard it's great.
My favorite one is where Death quits and hands the job over to his assistants. It's hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Spoilers.
No, it's right there on the title. It
Okay.
says right on the front what would happen if.
So, are y'all making your way to the House of Knowledge?
Yes.
Let's say by the time that these conversations you've been having are done, and by the time you get there, by the time you get there, you're looking at about 3:30.
Real quick, I'm listening. I have to tippy-toe very quietly to make a cup of coffee, so I can't talk because I'll be too far.
Because you're making a cuppa.
A cuppa. Yes.
All right.
It is about time for Sarissa.
Tea time. All right, so you guys are at the House of Knowledge, which I would assume you walk in the front door. You kind of have like, let's say it's kind of you got maybe some like a couple rows of bench, like a bench on the left, a bench on the right for people who can wait to be seen, and like in front of you is a one of those kind of circular information desk kind of things, and there's nobody sitting there, nobody waiting at this time, and you can walk right up to it. So anybody who's still here, do you have questions for the information person?
Yeah, I will fly up there and say, excuse me, we are researching a specific type of undead creature that we may have to fight, called a will-o-wisp.
Oh.
We would like more information about what to expect, and so how we can prepare to fight these will-o-wisps.
Will-o-wisps, you say?
Yes.
Hold a minute, please. And she... Oh, yes, yes. She has this big book in front of her, and it says, Monsters of whatever this land is, of the Sword Coast, or whatever. I don't know what this overall land is called. Anyway, and she looks them up, and let's see what. All right, the information we have is as follows. It's not a lot, but it's what we have. They can fly. They can pass through solid objects and people. They tend to shed some dim light, but have also been known to go invisible when people have seen them. They're very aggressive towards those who are on the brink of death. So be very careful about getting too weak by them. And they are pretty good at defending against various elements of magic.
Cool. So I won't waste time trying to charm them or anything. I'll just use my magic sling, and everybody else can use their magic weapons.
As far as I can read in this book, of all the information we have gathered on them, it says nothing about charm, in that particular sense, being bad against them.
Yes, but most of my magic they may be able to resist, but
You said charm, didn't you?
yeah, I just kind of meant my magic in general.
Oh, well, I don't know your magic in general, but you said charm specifically, so, as far as we know, they are not any less perceptible or susceptible to charm than any other creature.
Okay. Well, I understand. I think I understand what you're trying to say.
Okay.
So what else where could we sell a spell book?
Could, might I ask if you have a list of specifically what they are resistant to? You said charmed is not on the list, which makes it sound as if you have a list. Might I quickly write down said list?
Charm isn't on the list, meaning we don't have the data to say whether or not they are resistant to it.
Oh, well...
As far as other magics that they could be resistant to,
Yes. What do you have what do you have data written on that I might write down?
we know for a fact that fire and cold magic aren't particularly good against them.
Alright.
They seem to like to use thunder magic or lightning magic, and thus they are also not they're very good against that as well.
Alright. So they use lightning. Alright. Do go on.
Anything else? And as always, for these kind of magical creatures, you want to have a magical weapon if you're attacking them, and that's the most we've been able to glean. There may be more. We just don't have any more information.
And alright, so if we had somebody that could turn undead, that would work on them since they are undead.
As far as we know, yes.
Excellent. Alright, I'm going back to making my cup of coffee.
Make one for me too. I'm kidding. I have tea.
So do you know where we could sell a
Teresa
spell?
pulls out a little pouch of Senka, a little individual silk bag with Senka in it, and slides it across the desk and said, "In case you need it later."
Riley doesn't know what Senka is.
That means Riley's a very fortunate human being. I'll let somebody else
Coffee
explain.
or something?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
It's vile.
It's freeze dried, like instant coffee. It was huge
Oh.
when I was a kid, and oh my god, it's just sucking on a dish rag would taste better.
I've had little bits of coffee here and there, but I hate coffee in general, so I just don't. Yeah. Instant would be worse.
It's like an instant coffee, so
Yeah.
I never was a coffee drinker either until I got with Johnny. It's like in self-defense because he drinks a lot of fucking coffee.
Jeez. And then Rio, she has heard your question. I just got a text message from my mom. And she asks could you have a spell book for sale?
Yes.
May I peruse it for a second?
Sure.
Thank you, young man. That was kind of a question, but it's all good. Let's.
What did you say? What did
She said, young man? Like, questioningly.
young man? Oh, to me?
Because you're an old fairy man.
Yeah. You're so sweet. Look at her. She's so.
I see Neil flying up to Sarissa's ear and being like, I think she's hitting on you.
Okay, so she peruses the... I didn't... This is one of the things I did not research that I should have. But she peruses... Let me see how fast I can do this here. Ah, nope. Probably not very fast because my internet's being slow. So blur is second level.
Take your time. I'm still making fun.
Charm person is first.
Spellbook looks very old. It's pretty new.
It doesn't say. It just says leather bound, and it was kept in a chest that was watertight. So old or new, it's well kept.
It's in really good shape.
I can see that.
Yeah, somebody put a lot of attention to detail into it. I mean, kind of like the way you do your job.
You are a charmer. So I see that blur and hold person are second level. I think sleep isn't. It is. I think sleep is first, but I'm gonna find out in a second here. First, yeah. Ah. Spider climb, last and not least, is second level. So 3 second level spells and 1, 2, 3, 4 first level spells. Okay. We do have some wizards in this area. I might not be the best person to ask this, but this would probably be a good starter spell book for an up-and-coming wizard. And you could probably get about 500 gold for it.
Oh, okay. Well, we were hoping for, more than that, but that's still pretty good.
Yes, as I said, I'm not the one to truly ask about it, and then it's because the spells seem to be first and second level. It's not exactly going to be something that a high-level wizard with more money would want to buy, but a novice, he or she could get 7 spells more or less off the bat,
Yeah,
and
that's worth it.
not bad spells either. How much were you wanting to get for it?
Oh, we were hoping that maybe we were gonna get 1,000.
Oh. All right. I wish you luck.
Yes, thank you so much.
But again, my assessment, it might be wrong.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'll tell everybody, hey, I think we can get 500 gold for this awesome spell book. We just gotta find an up and coming wizard and make the sale. And then I don't know. Are we done with our errands in town here, or what else do we have to do here? Sell the spell book.
I'm wondering if there isn't a place where we could go and look at, well, I don't know, melee weapons, armor, etc., to see if I can't rent a couple javelins that have some sort of magic imbued into them. Just rent. Of course, we'll bring them back.
That is not a thing I've ever thought of in D&D or seen in D&D aside from like renting mounts. Renting a magic weapon. I mean, I don't see why not.
Yeah, it was like renting a car.
They're hard to break,
Yeah,
but
they could also put down
Okay.
or you break it, you buy it type thing.
as far as anything, your weapons in this town, in this large town, of course, you have either the Dwarven district, which they don't have a shop specifically, but we do know that they're very good craftsmen and women. You also have the Shining Knight Arms and Armor area, a shop, which you've been to already.
Okay.
And as far as renting, I could not tell you one way or another if they would allow such a thing.
Well, we can check back. We can ask them.
You never hurts to ask.
Exactly.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Sarissa, she's hitting on me.
Oh, you should. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
time to go now.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, ma'am. Come on, Neil.
Okay, so cool. So we can go to the Knight in Shining Armor shop to check there, and we can where are we gonna sell our spell book?
Magic. Yeah.
I'm good with 500. We can. That's great.
Yeah. All right. I have to now put the coffee in the cup. I can't talk for a moment.
If you want to keep it easy, she would have, from the stores of this House of Knowledge, she would have given you 500, thinking that she could just end up, or the House of Knowledge could just end up reselling it for another 500 and just break even on it. But you also have the option of searching around town and trying to find somebody who might pay more. I don't know. Up to you.
We can search around a little bit and then circle back.
Yeah.
You want to
I
start?
like the idea of some more recon.
You want to start with the armor shop, the arms and armor?
Sure.
Get that out of the way. Okay.
Yeah, maybe I can find some more plus one ammo.
Is your sling +1?
Yes.
That's all you
And-
need.
and- I know, but you can also put magic ammo into your magic
True.
sling and better, yeah.
I mean, all it gives is a +1 to attack and damage rolls, but just having the magic sling makes your attacks magical. So
Yeah, I know, but
Okay.
but magic ammo in magic weapon is like double
Perfect.
the
understandable.
modifier. It's awesome.
I wouldn't say double, but
Well, +1.
yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. All right, so you make it down to the arms and armorer knights, whatever place. What you doing?
Well, maybe they have some magic ammunition. I'd stock up on some magic ammunition. We all going in?
Yes, I just can't talk right now.
Okay, I know what you want. All right, so we go into the shop.
Ding, ding, ding. Oh,
Oh,
good to see you all again. It hasn't been that long.
we need some powerful stuff this time. Your most
Oh.
powerful stuff.
How much
have
gold
any
you got?
I got any powerful ammunition in
You're,
this
you're like, I
thing?
need the most powerful stuff. Okay, I need like a handful of really tiny stones. They're powerful.
Got any walloping ammo? +1 walloping ammo?
Hold on. For the sling bullets?
Yeah. Walloping is from Xanathar's guide. It is
Chance to knock them prone.
a creature hit by the ammunition must succeed on a DC 10 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
All right.
I
Sure.
think that's the kind of stuff that you have to find, not
Well-
be able to buy.
It's Neverwinter. It's a big town.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. We just so happen to have a 2. They're very hard to make. We have.
That's awesome. How much?
I wish that there were a place where like all this shit was like laid out. Because when you get to magical shit, it's like it's not obvious how much prices are.
No, it's just not specified in the rules here. It's all
Okay, so
third party stuff if you're looking for third party stuff. But
yeah.
I would pay you 30 gold per walloping ammunition.
Deal. Why not?
Oh, awesome! Thank you.
So you got 2, subtract 60.
Okay.
Anything else?
My paladin friend here, she's looking for magical javelins.
Just magical. Just throw them and they deal magic.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Rentals, preferably.
Rentals.
Use them and bring them back. That means we pay you money.
Yes,
Use them,
I
and
understand
then
the
that's gone.
concept of renting. The condescension is not necessary.
It wasn't condescending, but if you'd like, I can pull that into the conversation.
You were explaining the process of renting to me. I run my own business. It was a little condescending, just saying. Anyway.
I don't understand.
Anyway, yeah, we've got 2 of your basic magical javelins, +1 to your attack and damage roll, hard to break.
Yes.
Those are 75 gold apiece. Oh, but you wanted to rent. What can you put down as collateral in case you don't bring them back?
Well, I could put down the cost of them and leave it here, as well as my regular javelins, and when we're done, I'll bring back yours and collect back, depending on how much money you want for rent, you'll keep X amount of gold.
All right. How about...
But I need a guarantee that my javelins will be remained undamaged, as I have taken a lot of time and effort to have them, the handles, hand carved and personalized to myself.
They will go into a storage container with our agreed upon terms of this deal, along with the money that you're putting up front that you're theoretically going to get back when you return said magical javelins, for a rental price of... We don't get this request very often, so let me think this out here.
Yes, I understand it's probably an unusual request. It's just, we have a very specific thing we need to deal with. It's not a large thing. It's nothing that will break a magic javelin.
No, it's really difficult. Yeah, I get you. 5 gold per javelin per day.
Excellent.
All right.
Do you have 3 of them, perchance?
I only have the 2.
All right, I will rent both of them. So Sarissa will hand over her 2 javelins, 2 of her 3 javelins, and 150 gold pieces, and be like, do you have a contract or something that I might sign in case your boy or someone else is here when you return?
Sorry, my keyboard is actually acting up now. I spilled liquid on it. Fuck me, god damn it. Okay, hold on, I gotta...
Yeah, do something.
Oh my
quickly
God.
before it fries.
No, I already spilled on it. That was half an hour ago. I thought but it's fucked up now, so I gotta switch it out. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna make my coffee.
I was telling him to put the keyboard in the dishwasher to clean it out.
Yeah.
I hear you can do that, and then once you dry out your keyboard, it still works.
Yeah, it's just that you don't want it to have power to it. Well, that's because it can arc out or something like that. So.
Right. But yeah, if it's disconnected.
Yeah.
And there's some design where you can do that, and it won't.
Nice. So I'm leaving 150 down payment, and 2 of my 3 javelins. 2 javelins.
That's great.
Yeah. And then and 5 gold. That's not that bad at all. Really.
That's enough to get a couple range shots in, and then you're going to be using your awesome paladin smiting with your sword.
Exactly.
When the javelins run out, so that's a good deal.
So I'll get 140 gold pieces back and my 2 javelins. Harness divine power, down 50. So I rented a javelin. Okay. I seriously gotta make the coffee. I'm gonna die. I can smell it. Yeah, I need the caffeine. I've got this head like lurking, and so I'm gonna try the caffeine before I do anything else.
And while she's brewing that mystical magical substance, Rio asks, good sir, happen to have any +1 shields or mithril chain?
Alright, I got my keyboard replugged in. I like how Sarissa was like, she was saying I can smell it, but like that was after she had said like if she doesn't have the coffee she'll die, and I was thinking, you can smell your death coming? Okay, so let me type this whole Sarissa, 2 javelins for 2 javelins and gold and stuff. All right, you're looking for a magical shield, you said.
Yeah, +1 shield or mithril chain.
Once again, I gotta look up my prices. Hold on a second.
Standing by.
Huh. Apparently the DMG says that it cost about like between 101 and 500 gold, but this website I just found, the 5e Magic Shop, says 1500 because that's the sane price. Sane.
Yeah, somebody's rewriting the DMG.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little.
Like I would think maybe 250, 300, but
Maybe it's a typo. They accidentally added one too many zeros.
I don't believe so. I think that they're talking about like the rareness of, you create a shield and then you have to have a mage or some magic user with enough power to, like, it's supposedly when you're crafting items on your own, it can take weeks to create a +1 weapon or armor. So that's like you're paying for their time, their materials, and
Markup.
yeah, profit. Yeah. Looking at a couple other sources here.
Maybe we could rent one for Rio. Hey, in fact, Neil, write this down. This might be actually an excellent opportunity for us.
A new business?
Yeah, see, we don't have to make any of the items. We'll go around to all the other shops, and we'll be the middlemen. We'll be the fantasy eBay, as it were.
Yeah, well, I could
Next
sing a
thing
song.
you're going to tell me is you're going to start offering reverse mortgages on magical items.
Funny that you should mention that. We'll pay you to use your item. There's one small caveat.
I could sing a tale about some ancient hero whose weapon or armor this was, and then you can ask for like 5 times what it's worth, and we'll trick people into buying it.
No trickery. Just average capitalistic scumbaggery.
Oh, well, that's not fun.
All right, if you want to buy a +1 shield, it's 250 gold.
Not that bad.
Okay, and mithril chain shirt or chain mail?
Ba 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 bum ba. You want either chain shirt or chain mail, you said?
Price of each, if you would please.
And you are aware that chain mail would give disadvantage on stealth?
Which is why I'm asking about a chain shirt.
Yeah, I was just making sure that you knew that part. So it's weird. This like The only interesting thing about Mithril is that it doesn't. Well, I thought all Mithril didn't apply disadvantage for stealth, but according to this D&D Beyond page, it does at various. Oh, wait, hold on. If the armor normally imposes disadvantage on dexterity stealth checks or has a strength requirement, the Mithril version of the armor does not.
That's
I
what
see.
I thought.
So, for either of those armor possibilities, you'd probably have 15 AC with a chain shirt because it's 13 plus dex mod max of 2, or 16 straight up with chainmail, no dex mod added, as long as you have a strength of 13 to wear it. Then I would say look up either of those prices in your inventory options. You know, like when you can add inventory, and then add.
Let's disregard that because my strength is 12.
Okay.
So, +1 shield.
Yeah, for 250.
I'd like to buy that +1 shield, sir.
Okay. It's all yours. Obviously, subtract 250 from your go.
Awesome.
You could get the chain shirt, but it doesn't seem like it increases your AC over a normal chain shirt, so. I don't know why you would.
Good
I
enough.
don't think you'd want to. All right. Actually, probably for you, the best AC you would get, I think, would be breastplate. No, that's not right. Okay, so if you found half plate that was made of mithril, you would have 15 plus your 2 dex, so 17 AC, plus your 3 from your shield, so 20. Plus, if it's mithril, then you wouldn't have disadvantage on stealth.
So I'm going to work on that.
Yeah, if you have the money and you want to spend it, you can look up the price of half plate and add 300 gold to it for the mithril no disadvantage on stealth version. And you're welcome to get back to me later about that decision. Anything else we're doing here?
I think so.
So, I have a question. Is Sarissa allowed to get a +1 shield, a magic shield?
It just so happens I have more if you want one.
Ooh, you said 250 though, yes?
I did.
150. All right, I have just enough. Not overly attached to this one. Might I purchase a shield, please?
It's all yours if you have the coin.
Yes, you said 250, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh. All right, I do actually have enough. So Sarissa will Discount out 250 gold. Yikes.
1, 2. No.
Yeah, right? Will you take that in copper pieces? Hold on.
Fuck off.
Right?
I mean, the customer is sometimes right.
Yeah, I paid my electricity bill in rolled coins before. They were not thieves.
The thing is, like, you're giving that money to somebody who has no impact whatsoever on your electricity bill.
Yeah.
You're just making a grunt.
Though.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen people do it on YouTube.
The person was actually, but it has to be rolled. They had a rule because a
Yeah.
lot of places won't take unless it's like past a certain amount. But there was nothing against it. No, the person was actually happy because they're like, oh, I get to spend the rest of my day counting change. Didn't have to deal with anybody else. They were super stoked.
That's what I was commenting on one of the YouTube videos I saw. Like,
Yeah.
that guy just gets to sit in a room with his headphones on and count pennies for all day.
Yep. So.
Anyway.
Well,
I'll do that.
how
Yeah.
how would I add a +1 shield though? Like, how does that?
Anybody else want to take that one?
Like, there's a common shield, but how do I?
You have the option to check.
Find it in the inventory somewhere.
You can check the box for uncommon.
D&D Beyond.
Yes.
In D&D Beyond, click on Manage Inventory.
All right, I'm in there.
And click on the magical tick box.
Oh, duh. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Then in the filter box,
Type in the shield,
type shield.
and then get a common shield, and then okay.
Uncommon.
No, and then just pick
+1.
shield +1. I mean,
Oh.
+1 shield.
It's not it. It has Ord of Shielding.
If you make sure to click the uncommon box that has green text, it should have green text. It will filter out all of the common, boring shit.
So armor.
And you'll probably need to click on See More for more items.
Okay, there we go. Boomerang. Oh, there it is. Okay, thank you. All right. Let me. Okay, I'll shut up. Go ahead.
As far as I know, everybody has purchased what they wanted to from this shop. Are you hunting now for somebody who might pay more than 500 gold for the spell book? Is that what you're doing?
I believe so.
Quick, housekeeping questions. So,
Sure.
Because the javelins are magical. Are they just magical so they can do damage against things that don't accept non-magical damage, or are they +1? I don't, or
Both.
No, they're just.
Both.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let me.
You'll
Okay,
find
go
you'll
ahead.
find them the same way you found your +1 shield. It'll be +1 javelin.
Okay, so I've got one regular javelin and 2 magic ones. Okay.
So you had 3 regular and you gave him 2?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a little, like think of it as almost like little Velcro, you know, that makes them into like a walking stick
Sure.
with a little foot on the bottom.
It's fine. I figured by now you guys would have crafted or purchased ways to store all your various weapons and shit. As long as you're not trying to store like 4 different great axes on your back, or within reason. Oh, that reminds me, I have to get Amazon to send me a new freaking keyboard. Stupid ass. So anybody participating in the search for somebody who might look like they want to spend some coin on a spell book, give me perception. Your choice of either perception or investigation. Investigation would be like talking to random people to try to find somebody. And perception would just be like...
Yeah, I'm pretty good at that.
seeing if you notice anybody who looks like a fledgling wizard that might want to spend some coin.
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking for a young man or a young woman wizard, maybe around the age of 17 or 18, who looks like they're, you know, just starting out, and maybe, you know, maybe they might like this is gonna be an advanced book for them, so they'll be really into it.
Okay.
And while
13.
we're doing this, Neil, we also probably should stop by the various taverns and round up our not servants. What are they called again? Not thralls, not servants. You know those? I have 3 people.
Oh.
They're not
Squires?
Like followers? What are they called?
Squires?
What are they called? No, they're called something.
You're a knight, so squire makes sense to me, but...
Retainers?
Oh.
Retainers?
Could be retainers, yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to find those. Do you want more people following you around?
Well, they're just, I'm supposed to have had them. I've just never dealt with it, but I figured I need to get them.
It's because I'm jealous of them, and I dismissed them.
Well, yeah, and so at this point, remember I told you that you would be able to be the guy that gives reasonable requests. You don't get to tell them to jump off a cliff but...
Correct.
What is the... Anyway...
Retainers is fine.
Yeah, I think that they're like retainers. They're like lesser. They're just, you know, and they can't do huge things, but you can have them run to stores, do laundry, you know, those kind of just menial tasks. So we could, you know, like I said, it would be good for us to get them.
Yeah, they're called retainers in your knight feature.
Yeah, so we can just what I figure is we'll get them, and then we can leave them with Bugdob, or we can have them do things around the camp for us too, or even have them babysit the kitties if we're going into something extra dangerous, and we don't have to worry about the kitties dying. So, good luck getting Bugdob to leave the kitties behind. They're gonna have armor; they'll be fine. So,
If you're getting retainers, you're telling them what to do.
Yeah. Well.
I don't want to tell them what to do.
Is they will be for our crew. So rather than having to do some of the menial tasks like washing your own dishes and things like that, they'll be there to help.
Okay, but I'm still your biggest fan.
You're my only fan. Trust me.
What are we doing?
I rolled a
13.
on my investigation to find a wizard.
You see some people who are wearing robes here and there. You go up to them, but they ain't interested. Was there anybody else who was still like helping Neil with this investigation or perception check for somebody to buy the spell book?
Yes. What do we?
Yeah, let me roll for some perception there. See whose ears pricked up when we heard the magic word spell book for sale.
Oof.
Only a 19.
Alright, so Sarissa's 8 was an oof, and Rio's 19. So here's the thing. I'm pretty sure 500 gold is probably way more than it's worth in reality in this game, but I'm sticking with it. So
I thought we just sell it.
with a good perception roll of 19... Let me look at the spells again. You find a guy. Well, no, you find a gal in kind of knightly armor, plate, well polished shield, sword, etc. A couple spears on her back, and alongside her you find a young male kind of in robes. Even got the old wizard hat on. It's kind of, it flops over at the tip of it a little bit, and she has been looking for ways to make him a little bit more useful. And she thinks that, the spell Blur will definitely help him survive longer. Charm Person will help them get past some... what are they called? Not discussions. Some... I can't think of the word. Anyway, help them with people. Reading languages, comprehend languages is great for that. Holding people, etc. So she thinks this would be a great book. She knows you've been offered 500 because you told her that. And she looks in her coin purse and... I can offer you 600 gold. It's my last offer. Take it or leave it. Bueller. Did I lose you guys?
Sold.
Oh.
Sold.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. So.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, how much did she say?
600.
Okay, yes. It sounds
do it.
lovely.
Okay.
So, Carissa will take the change and then, 200 to Rio and 200 to
Neil.
Neil.
It's a shame that these wizards can't fund their own education these days, and they have to get. There's these people that have to step in to be their sponsors or their patrons and stuff. It's like they can't go out and make a living for themselves. It's kind of sad.
She looks to her squire and she's like, "Indeed, it is."
Cool. Well, good luck with yours.
He's been doing fine. I just want him to be more useful. And he's like, I'm trying. And they toddle off.
What are we doing with 600? We splitting it now?
200 each of you, as far as Sarissa said.
Yeah,
I
200.
didn't hear. Okay, cool. Yeah, doing it. Done.
Stepping away from the keyboard. Still here.
200. Awesome.
Can I have a little bit of that gold for my new keyboard that I had to buy? My own stupid fault, but... All right. Was there anything else?
Not for me, I feel like we should get out of here because otherwise people are just going to stop me and ask me to perform. And that's going to slow us down, so maybe I better disguise myself. And I take out my disguise kit and I turn myself into looking like a halfling. I'll tuck my wings inside a cloak.
A very short halfling, which is saying something.
How tall am I? I am actually...
I thought you were like a foot and a half?
I am...
Or 2.5?
A foot and a half. You're right. A foot and a half. Yeah.
Which is almost half of a halfling?
Short half.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, you're an old-looking halfling child.
Well, you do have that cloak, though. You have that cloak that can kind of change how you look. You could maybe make that look like you've got a very long trench coat on, and then just hover and fly an extra 2 feet off the ground.
I don't know how to fly. Oh, but without my wings being exposed.
True.
As far as time goes, we started the session at 3 p.m. in-game time. About 3:30, you guys were done with the House of Knowledge. Around 4, you were done with the Armorer. It took another half hour of looking for somebody, so 5 p.m. to find the knight and her wizard squire. So it's around 5 p.m. right now. And Neil, unfortunately, nobody has... They've seen a fairy and been curious about it, but nobody has asked you to play or sing for them so far. I don't think you've been carrying around, waving around your pan flute, looking like, hey, I'm a bard.
No, I've been avoiding people's looks. I've been trying not to stare too deeply in their eyes.
They have no idea that you're a bard. Your pan flute it's small, right? It's a pan flute, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They mostly just...
I'm in disguise. I don't want people... I don't want to work right now.
So you're walking now as a small halfling?
Yeah, I'm walking. I'm not flying. I'm walking around town.
Okay. All right. So 5. Did I say 5? It's about 5-ish. What you guys doing? I think there was talk about wanting to go to the Dragon Barrow at night to try to fight the wisps above.
Do we have the armor? Do we have Bugdob's armor?
No, not yet. The dwarves would have told you it would take a couple days to do that.
Yeah, so we have to come back for Bugdob's armor.
But that was for the dragon, not for the Dragon Barrow, as far as I remember.
Well, it's for as soon as possible.
Yeah, of course.
We could go back out to the Barrow, hang out with the Centaurs.
Well,
play
yeah,
music.
let's
They
take
could
care of
dance.
those will-o-wisps. Those evil will-o-wisps.
Yeah, and then we could go back to town, get Bugdob's armor, and then go back out and deal with them. But do we want Bugdob even with armor dealing with these things? Because they're big. They're just dangerous, right?
Bugdob's not going to be able to be effective against them. So
Yeah, that's right. Because he doesn't have anything magical. So yeah, that's right.
yeah, so we just call Adon to come help us, and we'll be fine.
Yes. All right.
So, what I'm assuming you guys would probably like to do is see from a distance, see the lights on top of the barrow at night for yourselves to get an idea of what's going on. And then probably just go back to the Centaur camp to chill.
Yes.
Okay.
Think of it as a recon vision
So,
job this evening.
you do just that. You head to the dragon.
Sneak up and we see a bunch of centaurs running around with camo cloaks on, pretending they're lights, and it turns out it was just the centaurs the entire time.
You head to the Dragon Barrow again, and you wait for nightfall, which isn't too long because it's already 5 p.m. and you're leaving, and roughly half an hour or more to get here. And as the centaurs said, you see I'm gonna get the number correct here. You guys are level 6, right?
Yes. There in her group she was the paladin, there was a druid, a cleric, a fighter, and a spellcaster. So that's 5.
So that was all things that I made up. The book doesn't have that.
Oh.
I was just assuming you got a frontline character, a healer, and a couple damage dealers per group.
So we we know there were 5 in their party. So.
But there were 2 parties, so like roughly 10 to 9 or 10 people total. I think it was an adult dragon or ancient. I don't know where I read. I think I read that somewhere that it wasn't. It says a green dragon. But if like 9 to 10 people died fighting it, I would assume you're looking at ancient or whatever. It's dead now, so. You guys are looking to face a young white dragon. Young white, I think. But yeah.
Well, it looked pretty scary to me.
Oh yeah, yeah. You guys did come face to face with it once.
Sarissa can take care of it. I know she can. Rio too. He's pretty tough. He's a tough guy.
We have a Dawn to help also.
I haven't seen any other heroes in these parts.
Okay, so what I'm gonna say is you guys saw 5 will-o-wisps floating at various spots. So like 1 on each wing, 1 near the head of this mound, and a couple on the spine, like 1 near the tip of the tail. Just kind of hovering, moving around a little bit. Nothing really much else than that. So that is that's what you picked up in your recon.
So we should go have dinner with the Centaurs and discuss.
You're muted, Neil, so whatever you just said we missed. Still muted.
Fair enough. Yeah, I said, yeah, what do you want to do? So I said, and then Shannon spoke.
So you guys are choosing not to attack tonight.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll go have dinner with the Centaurs.
Okay. Do I have a scene that is anything remotely Centaurish? Probably not. So, as you are all approaching I think the Centaurs did give you an idea of like which direction to head in order to find their camp. You come across in the woods. Hold on a second. Yeah. In the woods, you come across a circular clearing, so no trees, a couple stumps maybe here and there. You have a ring of tall tents, like kind of like around the outside of this circular clearing. There's a bonfire in the middle. You might see some smaller fires with some meat and other things kind of like roasting over it, like a spit kind of thing. You might see a cauldron or two with the smell of vegetables picked from the forest, boiling or being stirred continuously in these cauldrons. You see Bugdob, you see a bunch of centaurs, and there's some dancing, there's some revelry, there's groups here and there talking to each other. And as you approach, you give me perception checks from all 3 of you.
Only a 20.
25.
Oh my gosh.
Perception.
We'll see if all three of you here or not. We'll see. So, Sarissa is just... She sees the glowing fire ahead of her and hears the sound of music and like the hooves of feet and stuff. The other two of you, Rio and Neil, you hear coming through bushes or like behind trees several sets of centaur hooves, like 3, 4, 5, and they converge upon you and they halt you. But you notice them coming, so you're not like surprised by it. You can hear them kind of not being loud as heck, but they're trying to be quiet, but you've perceived them. But as they're coming, they halt you and they ask you who you are. What are you doing here?
Well, we're friends with Xanth and Bugdob.
They're not stupid, so they would probably be pretty sure that strangers would most likely not know both of those names. But they still like, wait here, we're going to check your credentials. And one of them goes jogging off into the circle and finds Xanth and Bugdob and
I'm a bard.
the remaining centaurs are like, okay. And but not like less than a minute, Xanth comes back out and says, "Oh, greetings, friends. It's good to see you again. Come join us." And you are taken to everything I described before. Some dancing, some food, some whatever. What would you like to do tonight?
Neil would like to try to impress everyone with his pan flute skills.
You notice that there is a band of sorts. You got a drummer. You have somebody playing a... probably more of a... Yeah, sure. You got a harp player. You got a... Not a sitar. What I'm thinking, what's the D&D thing? A lyre?
A lute.
Lute? I can't remember what lute... A lyre is like the small harp, right? And a lute is kind of a guitar.
Yeah, just the stringed instruments are just bigger and smaller versions of the...
You do have somebody playing a horn instrument of sorts, kind of like a bugle more than a clarinet or a trumpet, kind of more bugle-like, I think.
Make it a calyx.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's that one the Celts used to use that they figured went and had like a trumpet mouthpiece and it would go straight up and had like a... Yeah, just they're pretty awesome.
Okay, well, in that case, Neil wouldn't want to overpower all those musicians, so instead he would grab his tan drum
Oh, there you
and
go.
just start jamming along with them.
What I was saying is they would, if you wanted to approach them and ask if you could play with them, that would be where you're going.
Yeah, Neil wouldn't really ask. He's just
Oh.
gonna whip out his tan, and he's just gonna fly over there and just go
All right. Let's get a performance check to see if you can match their rhythm and what they're going for here.
That's a 12.
That's good.
That's confident.
It's not a rhythm that you're super familiar with. There are some mistakes here and there, but for the most part you're not impressing anybody yet, but for the most part you're getting it. They're treating you like a youngling that is just learning to use an instrument. What are the rest of you doing for now?
Well, we eat dinner. Make dinner.
Okay. Are you just partaking in what they have to offer?
Yeah, I could say that we just hauled out some food.
What kind of food?
Rio's the cook, but, you know, whatever Rio wants to do.
Yeah, I'm in a cooking mood, so I'll open up my backpack and haul out some spices and my cook's kit and ask for space at the hearth.
All right. They give me a persuasion roll with advantage. Given that you have these spices and stuff and some meats that you preserved and... Okay. You are... With a 12 and a 4, you are given a... You are given a spot to... And like a few things of wood to like build your own fire. They'll give you a... Do you carry your own cauldron or cooking pot with you?
Yeah, it's part of the cook kit.
Okay, so they give you the wood. They...
Waffle iron.
They give you the wood. They give you the space for it. They're not entirely sure that you're going to do a good job yet, but they'll give you space for it. They're not going to offer much aid aside from that. And then Sarissa, what are you doing? Or did I miss that?
Yeah, I'm just hanging out by the fire, chit-chatting.
Okay. Anything you want to talk to them about?
No.
Okay. Bugdob does eventually see you guys. And he comes rushing over. He's excited to see you all, and I'm like, guys, I learned a new dance. And he will perform now the dance that I'm about to perform for you. And you may be familiar with it. So he extends one hand out. And he extends the other hand out. He turns one hand over. He'll turn the other hand over. He'll put one hand to his shoulder. The second hand to his other shoulder. He'll put one hand behind his head, and the other hand will go behind his head. One hand will go across his stomach to his other hip. The other hand will go across his stomach to his other hip. And then his right hand will go to his right butt cheek. His left hand will go to his left butt cheek. And then he will do a like a circular motion with his hips. And as he does that last part, he's going to go, "Hey, Macarena."
Oh, Bugdob, that's amazing.
He learned
That's really good.
He learned the Macarena from the 90s.
That's amazing, Bugdob.
I liked that, though.
We knew you had it in you.
It's not something the Centaurs can do very well, so when they find a two-legged creature to teach it, they'll circulate. They can't really put their hand on their butt because it's too far away, but they like watching
Right.
the two-legged creatures do it. He's very proud of himself, and
Yes, he should be.
Rio, what have we had you roll in the past for, like, cooking performance? Have we had you roll for quality of your cookery?
Remember.
I don't recall.
I don't think we have. But give me a d20 with your proficiency, with advantage, and we'll say it is wisdom. You are muted for whatever you just said.
Wisdom, proficiency, advantage.
Yeah. And Neil, as he is rolling that, you can give me a performance check with advantage, since you're kind of getting the idea of the Centaur rhythm.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a solo.
We'll see. No, I mean, you're going to do it, I guess, one way or another, but... So, Rio, your results first, please.
Yeah.
26. We'll get there.
That amounts to rolling with advantage on survival.
Okay. Which tracks.
So a 25.
All right, so order of operations here. As Rio is cooking, throwing ingredients in, stirring, making sure everything is great, the smell starts to waft out. And we've got a bunch of smells competing right now. We have a couple spits turning with meat. We have some cauldrons of veggies and such. And the centaurs start to pick up on this new smell. And they start to try to follow the scent. And they do so, and they see this new, just little cook fire that Rio has set up with his cooking pot and his utensils, and they start to come over. And they start to ask very nicely if that is something that you can share with everybody. So do you believe, Rio, that you have made enough that it can be shared among, we'll say, 20 centaur? Even if it's just like a cup maybe each? Maybe a couple cups?
Yeah.
Okay. So you start to dish this out into their various wooden bowls, and they taste it, and they are flabbergasted by your cooking skills, and they are giving you pats on the back, and they're talking you up to their friends, and more come over, and by the end everybody has had a taste of your amazing cooking, and they are super happy they've invited this ogre and its friends back to their camp. And you have advantage on the if you want to like write this down somewhere, you have advantage on the next kind of like social check that you want to roll with them. It could be persuasion, it could be insight, it could be perception, investigation, something like that. Like, just come up with what you kind of, if you want to use it later with the centaur, you're welcome to throw an idea my way and we can figure that out. Neil, you're playing just, it started off a little bit rocky, but then you start to get into it and you're bobbing with them and your body's kind of moving with the rhythm, and they're looking at you like, yeah, he's starting to get it. And then your drums are just picking up, and just at some point in time, you just decide, I've got confidence for this, and you whip out your pan flute, and you are doing fucking both. You got one hand on the pan flute moving it around, you got the other hand on the drums keeping rhythm, and they're all looking at you, and they're like, This little man got it. This little man is fucking Irie. You're just y'all are rocking.
Yeah.
And you also get an advantage on the next like social check you want to kind of do with these guys.
Okay.
Neither of these have to be used, but if there comes a point in time where they might be beneficial, you got them.
Sounds good.
But you guys are both basically the best friends of the Centaurs now, and Sarissa, by being your friends, is also a very good friend of the Centaurs.
Nice.
It's about halfway point for our session. Do y'all want to take a break?
Yeah, I can take a quick one. Sounds good.
So
We'll do 10 minutes tops.
Yeah, Junior would appreciate that. He's starving.
Get you. So am I. I will see y'all in about 10.
Okay, sounds good.
Later. screen. All right. Anything else y'all want to be doing tonight with the Centaurs or with each other? Or
I'm trying to remember from last session when we talked to Xanth. He told us about the will-o-wisps. I don't remember that we actually asked him to help us fight the will-o-wisps.
You did, and he said he would go nowhere near it.
Okay. Then I wouldn't try to twist his arm.
Okay. So, if nobody has anything else they wanted to talk about with the Centaurs or do tonight other than dance, drink, eat, and be merry, then y'all get a long rest. Not that I think anybody needed it, aside from avoiding exhaustion levels. And morning comes. Rio, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
Before I turn in, I whip up a batch of good berries for tomorrow.
Okay. What's a batch for you? One spell slot?
10.
So 10. So a level 1 spell slot of good berries?
Right, a 10 pack.
Copy. All right. You have those. You still get your long rest. You get your spell slot back. You have good berries until another 16 hours pass. Morning's here. What you doing? For reference, we're going to say the dwarves, even though they're going to be working like a lot, like a bunch of them on this armor for Bugdob, it'd still take a couple days. So you can't get it until tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Yeah, but we can get hide armor for him. That gives him an extra couple of AC. I'll do that out of my own pocket.
I mean, because he's large, any armor you want to get, like towns and such, even good big towns like this are not used to making armor for such large creatures. So stitching together 2 sets of hide armor is still gonna take a day. At this point in time, you're gonna get the plate armor around the same time.
That's why I mentioned it last week.
I recall talking about it. I don't recall a trigger being pulled on it. What, do you guys remember a trigger being pulled on making the hide armor in the same time as the plate?
I guess that's what I assumed was going to happen. But
I don't understand why it's happening, but if you guys wanted to say that, then sure. Like, hard armor is only like AC 12, isn't it? Or 11?
Yeah, but it only gives them an extra 2 AC.
Yeah. I mean,
how's he doing right now with his shield?
Where'd I put that?
Gives him an AC of 12. Two more than he normally has.
He currently has 11. He has +1 to his AC from some source. I can't remember.
Did he level up?
He did, but that doesn't. But that doesn't give him more AC. It gave him more hit points. He's currently 2 levels higher than he was when you met him.
You gave a reason, like he got
I
his
can't
shield
remember
and-
what. The shield is 2, so he'd be at 13. I don't know where the +1 came from.
it seems like because we got him newer clothes or something. It just something.
I wish I had written that down why. But let's just say he's at 14.
He's still too squishy to come with us, and he doesn't have anything to fight.
Yeah. Let's leave him behind and just take it down and
Who has the highest hit points of you guys right now?
Hit points?
Yeah.
Oh. Sarissa has
51.
Yeah, me and Rio are almost even.
I mean, he's got 22 more hit points than either of you. So he's like
Yeah, but
squishy as in easy to hit, but he's got a lot of hit points.
Yeah, but until we get him armor, I mean, with an AC of only 13, man.
Here, 14, because I'm going to go with my +1. I don't know where it came from, but we're going to say 11 +1 plus the 2 from shield.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, we decided last week too that until he had armor, we weren't gonna bring him to fight.
given that you guys have been treating him as kind of a beefy melee, you guys have an option. I know I probably should have given, like, we don't talk a lot during the week, but he has the best the best option that he could probably benefit from is rage. So I'm giving you guys with Bugdob an option of like a melee trait or a possibly ranger or rogue trait. Rogue kind of being doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but if you can find a rogue thing that would be Bugdob-esque, I might give it to you, but I'm thinking rage would be really good for him, or he could crit on 19s and 20s, like the champion kind of route for fighter. You could theoretically instead choose one of the battle master routes. Like he could, for him it'd be like a knockback on his attack and do more damage in a knockback, or easier grapples with some, like, there are some battle master things that would fit a large ogre kind of well, I think, like a taunt maybe also. So I apologize for not bringing this up sooner, but you guys you can pick kind of one thing, either rage, a couple battle master things with two battle master superiority die to spend on it per short rest. You could choose crit on 19s as well as 20s, like those. And if you find another thing via the ranger, paladin, rogue options that fits a large ogre, I'd be happy to entertain those ideas. But as he's leveling, I'm gonna allow him to like gain some interesting possibilities. Rage and the crit on 19 make the most sense, but I'm willing to work with whatever you guys think. So he's effectively kind of level 3.
Cool. Well, we're not going to bring him anyway, so.
Okay.
So we need to, we need to figure out though this next week what
Yeah.
we're gonna do with him. Then, yeah, for sure. I'll put that figure out bugged up.
Yeah. Odds are pretty good he's gonna get one more level by the time you guys go to the dragon fight, so I would allow one more cool thing, so a total of 2 from either barbarian, fighter, monk, maybe paladin, rogue, ranger.
Am I able to level up Adon to level 6?
But he Adon is the level you guys are, so your summon a buddy is your level.
Okay, then I'll have to level him up.
Yeah. His spell selection is more limited than a normal player, you know. We're talking
Yeah.
like
Beginning at 6th level, the healing spells I cast on others heal myself as well.
okay.
Holy
Is he life cleric? That's how you've been doing him?
yeah.
Okay.
He's a life cleric, yeah.
I would say he has 6 spells total to choose from. No, not to choose from. He can have 6 spells learned. That's kind of one of the balancing aspects of this summon a buddy.
6 means 6. I can only prepare.
Yes.
Spells.
I don't think it's been an issue so far because really he's like used like spirit guardians and
Yeah, but
he doesn't use much.
I'll have to unprepare them. I'll have to go through and make that decision.
Yeah. And like if one day you get high enough level that you have the wish as an available thing, I don't like there are really like high level wizard spells that I don't think should be allowed.
D&D Beyond tells me that there's some of them I have that are always prepared because that's like a part
Sure.
of my build or something.
Those don't count toward the 6. As they don't when you create your own character.
Okay.
Because you've chosen life cleric, they have, whatever already prepared. Anyway, so think about the one thing you guys want Bugdob to have. Get creative with it if you want to. You can make one up if you want to, as long as it makes sense. Like he could, if you want to get creative, he could theoretically throw or attempt to throw a medium creature at another creature, given his strength and size. You can get creative with it if you want to. But, yeah. And then what I just said about your summon a buddy and, yeah. So it's morning in the Centaur camp. They're starting to cook. Bugdob is still snoring. He was up late. Y'all had a long rest. It's another day and a half until Bugdob's armor is done. If you wanted the hide armor, it would be done by this afternoon. And then just take off whatever gold for that, like 2 times hide armor if you want to, Rio. If you don't want to do that, if you want to wait till the next day for
All right.
Yeah, it's up to you.
It's worth it to me.
Okay. But it's morning. That armor isn't going to be done until this afternoon. What are you guys doing in the morning?
I don't know. We're just hanging out until tonight, so we can attack those will-o-wisps.
I'm listening. Johnny's yelling, so I'm listening to you guys. I have to see what he wants.
I don't have anything else that I'm to do.
What do you want, Chelsea? Then the Centaurs would ask you to earn your keep. If you're going to partake in their breakfast and partake in their protection, they would... I'm assuming Rio would be more than happy to go hunting with them for food and berries and out.
Excellent idea. Let's go for it.
All right, so Rio, you're going with them. Neil, what do you have to contribute to this morning? And
I can hunt for herbs. I know where all the best fairy herbs and spices that'll make breakfast really, really tasty. I'll go forage for herbs.
I hear no objections from your fellow party members, so This is being allowed. All right, so
Oh, but what Neil is really gonna do is he's gonna fly off into the woods, like where nobody can see him, like like under a log, and he's gonna take a nap.
okay. Sarissa?
I'm just gonna nap. I'm dealing with Johnny right now, so I can't talk. I'm
Okay.
listening.
So, Sarissa will be helping the Centaurs with some sparring, keeping up their battle mechanics. You know, going toe to toe. She's as a veteran paladin, she's gonna be pointing out like you should have thrust here. You should have parried there, and keep your guard up in this position when he's coming around this side. And Sarissa's just going through the frickin' awesome like battle strategies that these centaurs are gonna love.
She's putting these centaurs to shame. They're all like acting kind of like like but like you can tell that they're just in awe of everything.
At first they're a bit standoffish, like what's this two legs have to give us that we don't already know, but and the centaur are also kind of a sexist bunch. They're like, what's this two-legged woman? And then she shows them quite quickly her credentials. And like, oh,
She's got a tail too. Don't forget about that.
it's not a leg though. Anyway, they're awed by Sarissa's battle prowess quite quickly. Rio's ability to track and hunt is either on par with the centaurs who've lived this life for a long time or above. And y'all are able to... They're able to get not 2 times as much as normal, but like maybe 1.5 times as much. Like it's a good haul. They're very happy with Rio's contribution. Like an hour before lunch, maybe Neil comes back to camp. Do you come back empty-handed, or?
No, I'll come back with just some herbs that I just found, like right by where I was sleeping.
Okay.
Real quick, just grab a bunch of them all real quick and.
You're the only one that's got a roll for this. Give me a nature or survival roll.
Okay. 19.
You do a good job this time. You've been learning. You kind of learned from watching Rio a bit. Like, it's been a little bit hit or miss. Like last night was miss, but today was a hit. You do indeed find.
Probably what happened is I fell asleep,
Mhm.
and then when I woke up and I got up, I turned around and I had been sleeping on like a bed of like wild like basil.
Okay.
It just kind of sprouted underneath me, like and grew as I slept, and as I got up and turned around.
You know what else happened is you had a dream during this little nap, and it was memories of your mother or grandmother or aunt or whoever did the cooking in your family in the Feywild, and you kind of started to notice certain shapes of herbs you might find in the wild. And when you woke up, you're like, this herb I've been sleeping on is pretty similar to what they were putting in that cook pot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab it. So you get back to camp, and they are... Not only is this ferryman good at singing and dancing and playing his musical instruments, but he can also find delicious herbs. Oh, man. So the 3 of you are contributing mightily to this centaur camp, and Bugdob is helping them, probably helping Rio with the carrying of carcasses and such. But yeah, lunchtime rolls around, food is prepared. Are you guys still kind of sticking around in camp, or what are you doing? Are we waiting until the hide armor is made?
Yep. So, time to come back up and fix lunch.
Okay. But you guys are just kind of hanging out with the centaurs, cooking, doing chores and such until it's time to head back to Neverwinter.
No, till it's time to go fight the will-o-wisps tonight.
I thought you were getting the armor from Neverwinter before that.
I don't see why we should. We're not taking Bugdob to the fight.
Oh.
He doesn't have much to offer.
We decided until he has his armor and everything's laid out, he's not going with us. And number two, he doesn't have a magical item, which we discussed, and so he will be no use at this point. He'll be useful for the dragon, I would guess.
So I'm confused about what the point of the hide armor is now.
Just wanted to make sure that we. Oh, I see what you're saying. If we can't get it in at the same time that if we have to wait until we get the half plate armor, then what's the point of the hide armor?
Well, no, you could get the hide armor today.
Rio wanted to retcon it, but then but okay.
But I thought that was to use it to have him go to the Dragon Barrow with you.
It could have been. I missed that. I just didn't think that we were taking Bugdob with us to the Barrow Mound.
It's up to you as a group. I don't understand why it was crafted if not for that purpose, because the plate armor is going to come literally the next day.
I think Rio was thinking that we could just pick it up and already have it. But since you said that it was going to take time, then that's a different story.
Okay.
I can't speak for him though.
So if we want to retcon that the hide armor was not something that was crafted, Rio, you can put that money back into your inventory, since it doesn't seem like it would be used at all.
That's what I understand.
Yeah.
That makes sense, John.
I had suggested we do the hide before we knew how quick the dwarves would kick out their contribution.
Okay. So knowing, so you would have come to that armory place, the knights, blah blah blah, armor, about half an hour to an hour before you hit the dwarven section and talk to the dwarven cleric. So you would have learned pretty quickly that they would be able to craft that plate armor for Bugdob within a couple days. So you can, in theory, go back to the armor, which you guys did, and you say, hey, we commissioned this hide armor, we don't need it anymore, and you would get your money back, if that's what you'd like to do.
At this point, 20 gold isn't that relevant.
Is hide only 10 gold each?
Yep.
Oh, okay. No, it's up to you. I mean, 20 gold is 20 gold, so... Otherwise, you have a Bugdob-sized hide armor that is going to go to no use, unless you want to try to turn it into, like, a tent or something. Or a rug.
Cool designs on it. It could be his dancing outfit.
It could be a rug for your guys' cabin you're building in the woods.
Oh,
Up to you. No decision necessary right now, but if you guys are waiting until night to go to the Dragon Barrow, then let's just say that night has come. Or is about to come.
Okay. Well, then we may have to call the session there. I think Shannon's saying she's having to deal with Johnny.
Okay.
Who has a fever.
I am happy to wait for Shannon to say if that is necessary or not. I got nowhere to be. We're not playing next Sunday, right? The 14th. Because yeah.
I can participate in a fight for a little while. I'm just not going to be extra chatty because, like I said, we're going.
Yeah.
What freaking documents? If you need to focus on Johnny, then I'm not entirely sure that it would be a good thing to like have a more in-depth fight with.
Yeah, I feel bad, but like
It's okay.
his fever's over 102. He's really sick.
Jeez.
Right now. I'm trying to be quiet, and and like he never gets fevers and stuff, and and like he had a heart attack when he was 42 years old, so I'm a little leery. Yeah, it's a genetic thing. Yeah, just don't ask. So
Oh my gosh.
A little concerned right now.
Let's call it.
Are you guys
Yeah,
okay with that? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, next session we're gonna go straight into combat with these will-o-wisps, unless they want these evil things want to negotiate with us. But I have a feeling that we'll be fighting with them.
Exactly. So, and we can all chat this week too.
Yeah. All right, I will see all of you 2 weekends from now.
Yes.
And hope Johnny does okay. Hope you all have a good couple weeks. And
yes. Yeah, I hope it gets better soon.
I'll let everybody know, I promise.
we'll see y'all next time.
Cool, thank you.
Good night.